the comments to come in. While we're waiting for the comments to come in, I will just briefly tell us why More Techies, what we do at More Techies. Now, first, why, if I tell you, if I'm saying why More Techies, I'm telling you, number one, at More Techies, you become a no-code tech pro. We have, courses and programs that are no-code tech skills. Basically, we have product management, we have product marketing, we have technical writing, we have business analysis, we have social media management, and we have product management. And when we're looking at these roles at More Techies, we help you, we put you through the entire program, and then we help you, we don't just train you and then, okay, now that you have your certificates, now you can start going. No, we actually help you, train you to get that skill, give you your certification, and then even after that, we help you till you get your first role in tech. Or even if you were in tech before but you're trying to get to another level, then we help you get to that other level that you're trying to get to, right? So basically, while you're in the academy, we put you through your courses, you watch your course videos and everything, and then once you also work on different projects that you can always add to your portfolio, and it's something that employers would love to see at the end of the day. So by the time you move from, the academy, you join the Plus community, where we get to basically have sessions with you on how to write your CV, how to put together your portfolio, how to put together so as a UI UX designer or as a product manager, whatever, you want like a portfolio, how to put together your portfolio, how to apply for jobs. It's not every job that you should be applying for, because sometimes it's not every job that is meant for you. It's not every role that is meant for you, right? So we help you, figure out the kind of jobs you should be applying for. We help you with your interview process. Okay, you have like an interview tomorrow, and you need to prepare. We would meet with you and just try to prepare you for your interviews. And we help you, I already said you get to we help you select the kind of job. So we could be on a session and you guys just come in and we're looking at the job together and you're applying for those jobs. That's number one. That's one thing that we do. So we move you through the academy and then we help you get your first role in tech. Or like I said, if you're trying to level up in tech, we help you get to that point that you want to be. Number two, we help you accelerate your tech career with an internship. So basically, a couple of us might have gone through different programs and you're trying to get a job in tech, or you went through the program and you've been trying to get a job in tech, and they keep telling you that, oh, you need experience, and to get experience you need experience, right? It's usually funny when employers are saying, oh, you need experience and everything, and in your head you're like, how do I get experience if I don't get the job, right? I know if you've ever been at this point, at this stage in your life, you're always like, you want to scream at the HR person or something. But yeah, what we do with accelerating your tech career with an internship is we put you through a 6-month internship program called the Talent Accelerator Program. In this program, you get to apply all of those skills, all of those knowledge that you've already learned before. You get to apply it and build a product, actually build a product. We have about 8 teams currently building different products. We have different fintech products, edtech products, and I think entertainment tech. I don't know what that is called. I don't know what the combination of entertainment and tech is, but yeah, we have different groups of people doing that. So if you're someone who has already, previously acquired a skill, or, gone through, or you have a certification from, let's say, Udemy or Coursera or wherever, and you're trying to gain experience, More Techies will do that for you. And then lastly, we'll help you unlock your tech skills through networking. Now, if you've ever been looking for a community in tech, and I think one thing that is recurrent about what all our speakers usually say in our webinars is that you need a community. Largely, you can't even do life alone, Seth. In life, just like your natural day-to-day, you need a community. So not even like we've not even come to the tech part of it. So if you already know that you need a community in life, you should already know that you need a community in tech. If you're trying to transition into tech, or do anything, like even if it's not even tech that you're interested in, if you just want to do life, you need a community. So we help you. We immerse you into our community called the Mod Tribe, where they're like tech people of like minds. There are different sets of people there. There are newbies just like you, or if you're not a newbie, if you're like a mid-level person, there are mid-level people there. They're just a combination of different groups of people that have come together, and we help you unlock such tech skills through networking with them in the community. So this is just a bit. We have the Mockathon. We have a lot of things that we actually do at More Techies, but I'll just be, talking about this for the purpose of this webinar. So Thinker said he's trying to transition into tech. Emmanuel said he's a Scrum Master in transition. Zainab is trying to transition into tech. Olawale is trying to, everybody is just trying to transition into tech. So amazing, 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 guys. Welcome. Welcome. If you're trying to transition into tech, you're in the right place. Like, trust me, you are in the right place. You are actually in the right place. So if you're trying to transition into tech, you are in the right place. So right now, I need like drum rolls, because I'm about to, introduce our speakers today. And, we have packed, when they tell you that we have packed a lot, we have actually packed a lot for you guys in this. Our speakers are going to be sharing their experiences. They're going to be sharing their, basically what you need to know to get into tech. For all of you that are trying to transition into tech, they're going to be sharing these things with you, what you need to know, what tools, what everything that you basically need to know to start your journey into tech. So I'll be starting with Michael Adewale. Please, if you can just turn on your video so that we can start seeing you, that would be awesome. Can just turn on your video so that we can start seeing you. That would be awesome. So Michael Adewale is a generalist product designer with a passion for creating intuitive and engaging digital experience, with over 5 years experience in the field. So this is someone that he didn't just start today. Like he didn't start today. Like he's not a baby in this tech. In fact, before you guys started hearing about this tech thing, like he was already there. Like, he started since. It's not us now that we just started. When did we even start? Ahead. So he has been there for like over 5 years, and he has honed his skills. So you both should listen to him very well, because these skills that you are trying to acquire, he has it already. In fact, you can connect with him and everything. So just make sure that you are listening very well. So if your interest is product design, Michael is here for you. If your interest is product design, Michael is here for you. Funnily enough, he studied mass communication in school, in university days. And now I know your question might be, I might not be. So if, for example, you're a student and you're thinking, I'm not studying, anything that is related to tech, it doesn't matter. That's what you need to know. It really doesn't matter, because I know like about 2 or 3 of our speakers, including me, I studied biochemistry, and nobody is talking about which brings me to a question of why is it that biochemists are entering into tech a lot? Because I've been seeing like a lot of biochemists in tech and everything, but that's a question for another day. So if your interest is in product design, we have Michael here, who has been in the field. Like he has these skills. You both should not sleep on it too. You both should not sleep on it at all. Like he has been making this money before we even heard about tech money. Like he has been making the money. So yeah. Then next up we have Temitope Odiahi. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. We have Temitope Odiahi. So please, if you can just turn on your video so that we can start seeing you. Now, Temitope is a passionate, value-driven product manager. So if product management is your interest, know that you have to be value-driven, because Temitope has set the pace for us already. I'm trying to see if Temitope is here. Okay, all right, I can see her now. So she has set the pace.
I'm here.
All right, she has set the pace already for us, and she has experience leading cross-functional teams to plan, build, and manage world-class digital innovations. Guys, did you hear that? Like world class. So it's not like Nigerian class. It's not like, you know, Lagos State class. It's like world class. So you guys need to sit up, buckle up, listen well today, because like I said, we have packaged, you know, awesome speakers for you here today. And like I said, you know, Temitope is one of the speakers that studied biochemistry at Ajayi Crowther University, and she currently works as the product manager for Lender Stack. Like I said, I don't know what it is with biochemists and, you know, tech, but, you know, we are leading the pack basically, and I'm happy about that. All right, so next will be, you know, I feel like I need like drum roll for this one, like special drum roll, because Victoria is like a really, really amazing person. I mean, the first time she ever broke down product marketing for me, I was like, oh my God, I want to learn, like, just because she is the teacher, I want to learn product marketing. So you guys should better, you know, sit up, like I have said. Victoria said she might not be sharing a video here with us today, but I'm sure you'll be hearing from her. So Victoria is a product marketing manager with over 5 years of experience in the field of marketing and communications. Now, guys, listen to their years of experience. It's not 2 years, it's not 1 year, it's not 3 years. You know, these are people that, like I said, before tech became a buzzword, before getting into tech became the cool thing to do, these people were already in it. You understand? So she has a proven track record of success in developing and implementing strategic marketing campaigns, managing social media platforms, and creating engaging content. Now, Victoria also studied biochemistry. Oh my God. Oh my God. In fact, everybody that wants to get into tech should start studying biochemistry. Don't mind me, guys. I'm just joking. So yes, we have our second Temitope Juba. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. I'm sorry if I am not. She's still here. Okay, she's still here. Please, you can turn on your camera. You can start turning on your camera now. Thank you so much. So Temitope is a resourceful and creative and innovating individual. Her interest is sustained by her desire to learn. So one thing you guys should pick up, guys, is you have to have the desire to learn. You can't just say, oh, yes, because everybody's getting into tech, or because everybody's going into tech, that, oh, let me go into tech. No, that is not it, guys. You guys need to have the desire to learn. You need to be curious about, okay, yes, this tech that we're talking about, what is it about exactly? You understand? And she has a passion for digital marketing. She's currently a digital marketer at a digital marketing and communications lead at Parivest. And surprisingly enough, she studied political science. Now, I don't know how she made that switch from political science, because I feel like political science students back then in school, they used to argue a lot. Like they would just come and start talking about the country and everything as if we don't know. Like, is it people that know about the country? Like, it's not all of us that are in this Nigeria. Like, you understand? They used to like argue and everything. Now, Temitope is going to be telling us about how she made the switch from, you know, political science to digital marketing. Like, how did that even happen? What even happened? Like the story and everything. So she's going to be telling us about that. And then last but not the least, we have Victor Ikechukwu. Like, when I read his profile, I was like, oh my God, like, what am I even doing with my life, really? Like, what am I even doing with my life? So please, I would really appreciate it if, you know, okay, Temitope's camera is on. Victor, if you can please turn on your camera also, that would be awesome. That would be amazing. So yes, welcome. So like I said, I'm about to, you know, read his profile, and like I was saying, when I read it, I was like, what am I even doing with my life, really? Because see what this guy is doing, and I'm just here, like, you know, just doing one thing here. So he's a front-end developer and also a technical writer. He explores the space of technical content creation, developer marketing, and developer education for B2B, B2C, and B2D. What is even B2D, safe? Like, it's only like, fam, you are doing a lot. You are really, really, really doing a lot, because I only know about B2B and B2C. So you are going to be telling us what B2D is today. Anyway, so he works, you know, as a technical writer for tech companies, delivering high quality technical content to educate, aid, and help developers in solving their problems while promoting awareness of the said company. Really, he's like doing a lot. So guys, we're going to have the last speaker, who is a business analyst. She's going to come on later, but for now we'll be starting with these speakers. So I feel like I want to start with Temitope, because she's like Temitope Juba, because she's like the political scientist, and I'm just curious to know how she made that switch, like after just studying political science and doing all the arguments in school. Because like I said, I feel like all of them argue a lot. Like, they will just come and be talking about Nigeria, and all of them, they're usually SUG presidents and stuff. So I feel like I want to know how that switch happened. So if you can just share with us in like the next 2 to 3 minutes, Tim, talk about how it happened. Like, how did you go from studying political science, graduating with like honors and everything, and then moving to being a digital marketing and communications lead?
Okay, thank you very much, Estee. Hello everyone. It's funny because that arguing thing that you talked about is quite accurate.
Right.
But I feel like my own is because I think my own is because I always wanted to study law. Then I found myself in political science. I don't know how, but Nigerian university happened.
Yeah, I get
so so after school, I definitely didn't want to go into anything political science. So I don't know. I just knew I wasn't going to go into anything in that field. But I actually, funny thing is, after school, I was in the customer service field, right? So I was in customer service for like 2 years. And I was good at it. Like, I was really good at it. I had people that I looked up to, and I felt I wanted to actually scale up in customer service. But there was a time I went for an interview, and I was supposed to get a customer service role, and the person interviewed me for marketing. And he was like, yeah, he knows that I came for customer service, but the way I was introducing myself, that I wanted to see what I was going to, how I was going to talk for the marketing role. And I did that, and I responded the way I should have. I mean, not so well, but to an extent. And he was impressed, and he was like, why are you in customer service? I think you're very good at marketing. He told me to sell something, right? And I sold it, and he was like, you did so well. So why are you in customer service? Stop wasting your time. So and that was where I just had that feeling like, okay, marketing. And everybody had that notion. Like, growing up, I always thought marketers need to be on the road, and you need to be looking for people to buy your product. But the moment digital marketing came into existence, that was when I knew that, no, this is it for me. So can you hear me?
Yeah.
You can hear me?
Yeah.
All right, thank you. All right, so I'll say first, so when I knew that I had interest in marketing, what I did was I took a course. I took a free course. And I took a free course because I wanted to be sure that before paying for a course, I wanted to be sure that I actually had interest and I could actually do marketing. So I took a Google course, like the Google digital course, like digital marketing basic knowledge, and that was where I, got an understanding of what marketing was about. Like, I would tell myself I'm social media savvy. So understanding that, okay, digital marketing is literally what I do like normally, and it was something that if I put in my creativity, I could do so much more, in the online space. So I took digital marketing course and I got the certificate, and then after that I had more interest, and then I took Udemy. I took a course in Udemy. So when I finished the course, so there was something that you said, Effie, about more techies, what you guys do in more techies. It's not just about getting a course and just getting the certificates, right? It's very amazing when you see a platform that is willing to teach you and also like hold your hands and say, okay, we're going to put you through internship, or we're going to like help you with a job when you're done. And that was what also helped me. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Yeah.
All right, so that was what also helped me. That was what helped me in my transition, because from customer service, I was in customer service for, like I said, 2 years. And when I didn't feel like customer service was it for me. I felt like I could do so much more, right? So I was already doing freelance social media management. I was doing that for brands, and then from there, I just always wanted to learn. I'm this kind of person that if I don't take a course in some months, I feel like what is happening, that okay, you're not learning or something. So after taking a course on Google, I took a course on Udemy, took a digital marketing course, and I just felt like I needed more, like I needed to understand it better. And this time I wanted to be able to ask questions. I needed to like understand it with someone saying, okay, this is how it is. Okay, and also do projects, like, have a practical knowledge of digital marketing. So that was where I paid for it. So I paid for a course, and that was the breaking point for me. So one thing I would say is, if you're looking to transition, you need to be willing to learn. You need to be ready to learn. You need to open your mind to learning, right? You need to open your mind to learning, because there is no how you want to switch to a different field and you're not willing to learn, so you need to open your mind to learning. Take a course. If you're not willing to pay at that moment, take a free course first. That will help you put yourself, like, it will put you on the right track, right? So after taking the free course, then you can decide where exactly you want to go to actually acquire that knowledge. If you have to pay for it, I actually feel like before you like transition, I suggest that you actually pay for a course. And when you pay for it, you have more determination, like, this is my money. Like, when you pay for a course, the learning is different. You want to make sure that you use your money very well. So, but before you do that, make sure you take a free course, right? So, yeah, like I said, I did the free courses before, I paid for a course, and then that also helped me. Also, surround yourself with the right people, network with people in the field. So while I was in customer service, I worked with marketing team as well, right? So I had people that I really looked up to, and I took their contact, and I started to talk to them. They gave me advice on what to do. I also, when I see webinars or like events that is about marketing, I always want to attend. And this also helped me, because I got familiar with marketing terms, and also, networking with these people, they are able to guide you, right? Which also, it brings us back to what Essay said about community. Community is really important when it comes to transitioning, like in even any place you are. Like, community is great, but if you want to transition, then you need to start surrounding yourself with people in that field. Like, it's very important, right? So to get familiar with the terms that are commonly used in that field you want to transition into, it's very important you do that. Do your research. I can't explain the impact of Google, YouTube when it comes to learning or transitioning. If you see something, so what I do is, when I see, for example, if I see a position I'm looking to go into, right, I see some responsibilities and some roles, and I'm like, can I do this? And I go back to what I've learned, and I'm like, okay, how did they do this? And if I'm not clear, I Google, and I'm like, how, this helps me, doing research. So there's no how you want to go into marketing and you can't research. You need to be able to do your research properly, using Google to your advantage, YouTube. These things also help. You need to, honestly, there's no how you want to transition without being a fast learner, or, you need to be ready to learn, right? So that was what helped me. I'm always looking to learn from people as well. Like, this also helped me in my transition. And yeah, so definitely you need to check Google, do your research about the course you want to take, look at all the requirements, the skills that are necessary, the necessary skills, list them out. Necessary skills, what do you have? What can you also get? If it's soft skills, if it's something that you can also learn, do that. It's very important. It's not just about knowing how to do marketing. The skills important in marketing is also something you need to prepare yourself for, right? So practice. So it brings me to the third point. So practice. So after I took those courses, I was like, okay, so I have these courses. So what do I do? I couldn't just like go to a job interview and just tell them, oh, I can do this, I can do that. I needed to show them that this is what I've done. So what I did was, after I learned that, I built a website, a WordPress website, and I started to write. I started to write blog. I built a blog with WordPress by myself. So I started to write, and then I started to do SEO writing, and creating the blog, writing, doing all those research also helped me. I use that to create my portfolio, and it's helped me understand a part of marketing that I knew that I was going to get into, right? So trying out those things that I learned. So I knew I needed to try it out. Even if I had to pay for the website, I knew I needed to try it out. So trying it out involved, creating a blog. And so that helped me to practice, and I was able to show people. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Yeah.
All right. So I was able to show people that, okay, this is what I've done. This is what, so when you show people that this is what you have done so far, they see that you're really determined to transition. They see that, oh, you actually want to learn. You actually want to get into this field. So that was what helped me as well. So I suggest that you practice. Don't just take a course. Practice. You can start by getting familiar with the tools that are used in marketing. The ones that are free, you can start using them. For example, in marketing, I started using Canva from the beginning because I knew that you can't be a marketer and you don't know the simple designs, right? So I started using Canva, and I was good with Canva, and I used that in my first position. So at first I worked as a social media manager for a brand, a footwear brand, before I now got into a marketing agency. In the marketing agency, I did my designs myself. I created content. I did marketing campaigns for brands. I handled like 3-4 brands, international brands as well, because it was a remote company. So I was able to handle international brands. And it wasn't something that I had someone teaching me or anything. I had to be fast. I had to learn. I had to learn things even when I don't know them. But because I had people, I surrounded myself with the people that mattered. I could go to people for help and all of that. So which also brings us back to what Essie said about more techies, right? So if you have a community, if you're stuck, that's when the community will come into place. If you're stuck and you need something, if that's the fact that you can reach out to someone and say, oh, I'm stuck, can you help me with this? And then you realize that you're not the only one that's actually faced this problem. So why do it alone when you have someone that can actually tell you, oh, I did mine like this, and you do yours, and it's so much easier. So like I said, yeah, that's also important, knowing how to practice, and also community. And also you need to package yourself well. I mean, packaging is very important. Like, package your CV, package your social media platforms, like package yourself, have all the things that you need to, when it's not just packaging your CV and not understanding how to defend it when it gets to that point. I'm not saying go and lie in your CV, but if even the little things that you think do not matter, you can get to that interview and then they're asking you for those little things and you're like, oh, I could do this, but you didn't put in your CV that you could do it, right? So those little things, please put them in your CV. Every detail is important, right? Even if you handle the social media accounts, for just put it there. These important things, they also help as well, right? So yeah, and that has helped me. And so currently as a digital marketing and communications lead, I didn't come in as that, right? I came in as digital marketing executive. And because it's a startup, I've been able to also grow in that position. I've been able to grow. I also manage people as well. And because I've been able to do this, and it has also helped my career as well. So yeah, I believe that if you want to transition, you need to be ready to practice. You can't just say you have this and you know it. Nobody just knows it. You need to be able to practice. Someone's going to ask you, oh, you know it, but have you done it? You can't go for an interview and like, even if that's the reason why we do these physical interviews, because online you could just say, oh, okay, I've done this before, I've done it. Where's your proof, right? So where's your proof? So that's also important. Yeah, so like I said, get familiar. I'm coming. Yeah, so get familiar with the most important terms that are used in marketing, and that will also help you. I hope I've been able to
Yes, you have
explain
actually.
properly.
Yes, you have.
So I'm
Thank you
open to
so
questions as
much.
well.
Thank you
Thank
so,
you.
so much, Temitope. So I'll be going to the other Temitope because, like I said, we have two Temitopes here today. But you guys, if you're just joining in, the feedback form is, I mean, you just heard from our amazing speaker. So you can just, fill in your feedback in the feedback form that's in the chat session. So quickly, let's do that. While we're doing that, I'm going to be introducing our last speaker because she has finally joined us. And, like I said, and like I did for like all of our speakers, we need like drum rolls and everything. So Mufeoluwa is a business analyst with over 5 years experience working across various roles in sales and customer experience. She's currently a business analyst at Blue Bulb Financials, a finance firm in the foreign exchange and investment banking subsector, providing payment solutions to corporates, organizations, and individuals. She studied sociology from the University of Ibadan. So, Mufeoluwa, please, we would appreciate if you can just turn on your video. Thank you so much. So, welcome. If you're just joining in, guys, welcome to today's session. It's the More Techies webinar where you get to learn how to transition from a non-tech background into a tech role, especially through a no-code route, through a route that does not require coding. So right now I'll be moving to Temitope Odiahi, who is a product manager with Lender Stack. Temitope is a product manager with Lender Stack. And like I said, she studied biochemistry, and I just want to know how the whole transition happened, number one. And then number two, what does it take to be a product manager? As a newbie getting into the product management space, what does it take to be a product manager? So Temitope will just be answering those two questions right now. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Essay. Good morning, everyone, and thank you, Temitope, for the responsible person guide to transition into tech. So, I said that because anyone that knows me personally, some people say I'm a very free spirit. So you wouldn't expect me to be in a serious role, as serious as this role is, but yeah. So I'm here to give you the lazy person's guide to transitioning. First off, I would say you need to have, yes, so I studied biochemistry in school. For me, biochemistry, I was really serious about it because I was like, we're not so many in my department. Well, I was among the top 3 students in biochemistry then. So everyone would expect that I would continue with biochemistry. But we had a course back then, I think it was bioinformatics. I'm not sure. If we have biochemists on this call, I'm sure they will know the course. And I picked an interest in it, and we had to do some stuff with tech. And I just knew, it was at that point I knew that, I was going to dump my degree after school. After school, I decided to take a gap year. It's not so common in Nigeria, though, but I decided to take that gap year and stay after NYSC and try to figure my life out. Yes, Gen Z. And try to figure out what I wanted to do with my life, because immediately after writing my final paper, my dad sat me down and said, I've done my responsibility for you, so you're going to figure out whatever you want to do by yourself. I stopped collecting money from him, so I was broke, and then I had to get a job. I started out in the bank, actually. I spent a month in the bank, and I ran away from the bank because the bank is too hard. Funny how now I'm back into fintech, but yeah, working in the bank, I found it very stressful for me. I couldn't conform to the rules. You have to dress this way, you have to do this. So I met someone in the bank, and the person offered me a job as executive assistant. I used executive assistant in quotes because technically it was any work I was doing, but it was majorly product management. I didn't know what it was at that time, but I knew I enjoyed what I was doing, and I was being stressed more than I was in the bank, but I was enjoying what I was doing. I was doing product management, but I didn't know that was what it was. I was enjoying the whole experience working in the tech company, getting to learn a lot. I learned a lot of tech terms, even though I didn't know how that was going to help me, but I just knew that I wanted to be in tech. And then I went for NYC and I started data analysis. I know I helped around tech a lot, trying to figure out where would be the best place for me. I did data analysis, and then I started learning backend development. And I started learning, I was learning for about 6 months before I thought to myself, I can't keep doing this. Like, I just felt like it wasn't what I wanted to do. So I said, okay, fine, I have to get a grown-up person's job. I can't keep carrying laptops, sitting down in my house and not make money. That I realized I needed to get a grown-up person's job to fund what I wanted to do at that point with tech. So I got into customer experience, a bit like the Dopetum, customer experience. And then I had a good boss. I'll say I had a good boss that was willing to bet on me, because I was there, I grew into that position because at the point I was already the team lead. And then I had a conversation with him one day. We had a project to work on for a client, and we had a conversation, and he said, you sound like you know what you're doing. Have you done something like this before? And I'm like, oh yes, I have. And we got into the experience, my 1 year gap. And he said, have you heard of business analysis before? I said yes. He asked me what I thought of it and if I felt that was what I had done then. I said no, it didn't feel like that because it was more than that. And he told me to go and research the words product management, and come back to him. And then I went back, I did my research, I found out all I could about it, and I went back to him and he said, yeah, that's what I think you should do. So he told me what he was going to do for me was he was going to get me to look for courses, free or paid courses, whichever one I wanted, and he would pay for them, but we would have an agreement. The money would be deducted from my salary for a range of 6 months, but I would still be working as the team lead customer experience. They will reduce my workload so I could have time to study. But I would have to come, and after I was done with those courses, I would have to come back and then practice with them for a while. And that was what I did. And let me tell you, it was really hard for me because I'm a lazy person. I'm a very lazy person. I don't like to, I got through school because I'm blessed with a photographic memory. So I write a lot of things down. And even whenever I'm doing anything, I always have a piece of paper, a pen and a piece of paper around me. I know the world is going digital, but because I know the kind of brain I have, I always write down. So because I know as I'm writing it down, all I have to do is focus really hard later. And I can remember and I can picture myself writing it down, and then I know what I wrote down. So I always did that. So it's very hard. I don't have any attention issues, but it's very hard because I'm a lazy person. I'd much rather be watching Netflix or sleeping or eating or something than actually reading or working. So it took a lot for me to learn, but I had to put in the work because one, my salary was at stake. It was my money, which is similar to what Imitope said about if your money is involved, you will put in the work because it's your money. And then I had somebody that didn't know me from anywhere, but I was just working for him, and he took a chance with me, and and I would say it paid off because look at where I am today. So I had to put in the work and actually sit down and learn. And sometimes I knew I wouldn't sleep because and he had access to the courses, so he would see when I moved a deadline or when I missed a deadline. And I didn't want to disappoint him. So there will be times I would have gone out to play with my friends. I had friends most of my friends are Gen Z. I had friends that were into entertainment, photography. So these are people that would have events. I would have gone out to support them. But then I know I have a deadline. So after being a playful child, I would have to come back and stay awake overnight and still study. And then I would wake up the next morning, maybe sleep for an hour to wake up, and then I'd have to work. So I had to learn to balance it. It's a lot. I honestly wouldn't advise anybody to do that. Looking back, I would advise you just put in the work at that period and just understand that when you are done, when you've gotten the experience, when you are there, when you are now established, you can take all the time you want in the world. Now I set my hours, I set the time I'm going to work. If you try to set a meeting with me, when I do not want to take that meeting, I would reject it, and you would have to calmly wait for whenever I have your time. So you have to just learn, just put in that work. After a while, I had to sit down and sacrifice that. And then my next role was, that's where your networking comes in. As much as everybody says LinkedIn is awesome, LinkedIn is a place to be, I personally don't know how to use LinkedIn. LinkedIn is not space. Maybe because I am, I know, maybe because I'm a playful person, or I'm a very free spirit, but I'm one of those people that regards LinkedIn as very serious, a very serious place. So it's always, I'm very scared to speak or post or do something so I don't come off as wrong or serious. But I can be very professional if I want to be. So I I network more on Twitter. Twitter is my space. Seeing you can, anybody that knows me can never relate my Twitter personality to my work personality. I work with engineers. Most of them see me on social media. And when we are working, they can't relate it to the same person because they are two different people, but there's a merge. So I network more on Twitter. I network with the co-founder of it's a startup, but it's well known now. I would say it's well known now. And we just started talking randomly, and we just became friends. We just used to talk, and then he knew, oh, this is what I do. I used to go say hi to him at his office. And one day he called me up and he said, hi, Tintope, we need a product manager in my office. I was like, oh, okay, no problem. I was already part of a network. I joined the Slack channel, but I didn't really used to speak much. I was like, no problem. I can post it there for you guys. What's the salary expectation? And he told me, oh, this is how much you want to pay the person. And that salary as at then is for a mid-level role. I was like, okay, no problem. I'll put it up there for you. And he said, no, wait, I want you. I know you don't have so much experience. You've done the courses, but now it's time for you to learn by fire. So that was where my practice came in. My practice didn't come from building a product or managing a product. My practice came from a real life product in the market already that was doing well already and that had issues already. We knew the product had a lot of issues. I mean, the tech side of it, so there were a lot of issues. So I got on board, and from my day one, it was after 1 week, I called this person. I said, you're my friend, but I don't think I can do this job anymore. It's a lot. And he laughed and he said, welcome to tech.
Mhm.
When he said, welcome to tech, I was like, okay, fine, I can do this. So what I will tell you is, apart from putting in the work, you need to understand the rules and the responsibility. If there's anybody here that wants to be a product manager, let me just advise you now. Being a product manager, forget all the beautiful, beautiful terms you see us online about influencing this. Yeah, somebody said I need to network. Yes, you need to network. So I have different sides to my personality. I'm an introvert. I don't like to go out, but once you're close to me, you're close to me. I had to learn to put that aside. I think being a customer experience personnel helped me that. So I had to learn to put that aside and smile. So if you meet me, if you see me outside at an event, I'm smiling, I'm walking up to you saying hi, I'm talking to you because, like it or not, at the end of the day, you don't know where your next job is coming from. I can tell you that I don't apply to roles. And as it stands, all the jobs, all the contracts I've taken, I've never applied to them. It's just from meeting people, talking to them, and just putting it out there. If you even check anybody that knows me, if you check my social media, I post about my work a lot. Like I just talk about, oh, this is what I'm doing today. I'm sure a lot of people see how the Twitter tech community is. People post, especially designers posting I've worked with designers just that I met on social media, posting their works and all of that. So that's literally how I network. So yeah, back to what I was saying, understanding the role and responsibility. Forget how they tell you stakeholder management, um, influencing, all of that. Let me give you the gist now. Being a product manager, all of that is just talk and sweet mouth. As a product manager, one, you are everybody's house or your house girl. you are literally, somebody put it up on one of the communities I'm on, that being a product manager equals any work. Yes, you will get your hands dirty at any point, at any time and anywhere. You are going to be inside it. I have been called up by my CEO by 10 p.m. on a Saturday. I was at the beach with my friends. Everybody were having fun. There was music, and this my CEO calls me up and said, "Temitope, I'm pitching this product to a client, a potential client, and there's a problem. It is not getting past this point. What is up?" I could not tell him it's my off day or it's weekend or anything. I had to literally move away from where I was and move to the car and try to figure out what to do at that point. Also, as a product manager, you need to learn when they tell you you are influencing people. You need to I to sugarcoat it, I say you're learning to influence without making people understand their influence. So I'll say you're learning to be a bit manipulative because you need to make, especially developers. I think we have a front-end engineer, but like it or not, developers are very, very quirky people. You need to make them feel like, oh, this, you need to make people, especially management, like this idea, this thing is coming from you. You need to make that person feel like that idea is, yes, it's any work. Thank you, Indamora. Product management is equal to any work. You need to make the person feel like, oh, this idea, this thing I'm pitching, or this work I'm about to do is coming from me. It's not coming from this person. Because as a person, if I, example, if I want to sweep and I have it in mind I want to sweep, I will do it. But once somebody tells me to sweep, I won't want to do it anymore. So that's just how people are. So you need to learn to be manipulative, and you need to know how to beg these developers. You need to know how to beg them. You need to know how to be their friend. So you can call them up at odd hours and they would answer you. You can call them. You need to know how to beg, because I can't tell you how many times I have called a backend developer and I'll be begging. One has told me before, see, that's the code base. Go and write the code by yourself.
Oh, wow.
There's nothing you will do, because at the end of the day, it comes back around to you. You need to know how to beg. I beg. I don't think there's a week that goes by that I don't beg these developers. I beg them every single week, because developers are not wicked people,
All
but
right, we'll actually take questions later. Temitope, thank you so much for.
okay.
I mean, everybody has heard everything that you're saying, and I know that interests are rising in product management. People are preparing their minds to, start if they are getting into product management. They are, thinking about how they are going to be doing any work, how they have to learn how to beg people. Because someone like me now, I do not like to beg people, so obviously, product management might not be for me. I
Oh no, I
mean,
don't. I don't like to. I don't like to beg. I don't like to beg
all
either.
right.
But you learn.
Okay. Yeah, all right. All right. So I'm sure that a lot of people are learning right now all it takes to be a product manager. So I will go to Michael right now. Briefly, Michael is just going to, Michael has this like sugar daddy vibe, like all this I'm making plenty money in tech, I'm making all the dollars. So he's just really going to tell us about, getting into product design, the tools that I know people are always talking about Figma, and there's another one that has to do with framework or something. So Michael is just quickly going to tell us about the tools as a newbie, the tools you need to know to get into product design.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome.
No, it's actually funny how you prepare to say some stuff, and before it gets to your turn, they've said everything. They've already said almost everything.
Okay,
But
well,
going back
that's
to
why I
the
asked
thing,
about the tools, right? So at
right?
least somebody did not talk about tools involved in product design. So you cannot say she said
So,
that. Yeah.
yeah, so going back to the tools, honestly, people believe product design is actually all about the tools. Some will tell you use Figma, some will tell you use XD and the likes. But then me actually believe you need to learn the craft, because I started I started UX design using CorelDRAW. Then gradually I proceeded to Photoshop before I came to know about Figma, XD, and the likes. So, but now I think AI is actually making things more easier. So if you're starting as a product designer, a UX designer, I would advise you use Figma. But then,
Right.
as a product designer as well, you need to learn, like, how do I put it? Learn how to like embrace the headache. Because
Okay,
there are
what's the
sometimes
headache?
there are sometimes you create designs, send it to stakeholders, and honestly, the response you get, you feel like committing suicide. Because they'll just tell you this is trash, especially product managers. They'll tell you we can't work with
Okay,
this is
it's
that, this is.
okay.
To be honest, they'll tell you they can't work with this. No, no, no. This is like for the next milestone, this is that. And you've actually put in a lot of effort and everything just to come up with the design, and someone is telling you this is trash. Immediately that headache will just come. Like, so as a product designer, you need to like learn to embrace the headache. And what else? I feel like that's just the bottom line. Learn to like, okay, work with other people. Because like where I am today, it's not as if okay, I'm actually good or no. But then there are just some things you need to learn, like learn to perfect your communication skill. Even though you're designing rubbish, if your communication skill is sound, you present the rubbish like something that is dope. I didn't really have the skill. I just started learning because it took me a while. I worked on a project with some couple of designers, and all of a sudden they brought in a guy, a designer, and to be honest, the communication skill of the guy was like top notch. So he created the design, created everything, and funny enough, was able to like present it to the product managers in a way that they all loved it, and we launched. But then we noticed the way people just drop out of the project. So we have to like, and another thing, as a product designer, you should know how to like, okay, conduct user research. So during research, we get to know that, okay, this is this and this is that. So we have to like go back and just make some changes, and yeah.
All right, that's
And
amazing, Michael. Like you have actually told us, okay, like someone said in the comment section, communication is king. Like I know you're trying to be humble and say, oh, I just started and all those things. I know, yes, all those false humility. We can see through all of it. Yes, we are actually seeing through all of it. So I'm going to go to Victoria right now because Victoria is still on the call, guys. Victoria is still on the call. And like I said, she's an amazing, amazing product marketing manager. And she's just going to briefly tell us, there's like digital marketing, there's product marketing, like there's even like social media management. Like what's really the number one, what's the big deal about product marketing? Like, because sometimes product marketers, they act like they are product managers, and we're always like, I don't understand, this is not the same marketing all of us are doing. Like, what is it safe? You get? So Victoria is just going to talk to us about, what the big deal about product marketing is, number one, and what is there really a difference between digital marketing and product marketing. So Victoria, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you very much, SA. Hi everyone. Super happy to be here. My sincere apologies, okay, for not sort of turning on my video. I'm not in a great place, but I didn't want to miss this. I said, you know what, I'll make it work one way or the other. So I mean, everybody else who has spoken, as they've definitely delved in a lot, and even personally I've learned a lot. I'm not considering switching yet. We're still happy where we are. So anyway, so just to go right into your question, I mean, that's a very common question, right? And even apart from digital marketing, these days now we have growth marketing, we have performance marketing, we have a lot of things, my dear brothers and sisters, like we can agree. Um, I think I am in a position to sort of, let's say, give us a little more insight into at least what product marketing is in itself, and just a little, I would say, background, just so that we understand context. So personally, I started as a digital marketer. Okay, so I started in sort of promoting online, and what digital marketing just means is marketing, but marketing on the online space, right? Using digital channels and using that as a means to get through to your customers. As we know, there are other more traditional means of marketing, like the newspaper, the radio, all of that, right? But digital just means using digital channels. So social media is a digital channel, web, all of that, all of those things are channels, right? And these days, even more things are coming up just with innovation and all that good stuff. So I think that really is what digital marketing is. And I think for the most part, a lot of people are very familiar with it. But product marketing, right? I would say that one thing I want us to have in mind, if you're trying to really, really understand the concept, is if you've ever worked in the capacity of, say, a marketer, you would agree with me that the process of selling usually is in isolation from the process of building what is being sold, right? A lot of people work in almost like silos, I would say. It's just like you go out there and think of the next big thing after fried rice and build that thing for us, right? And then I, or the marketer, has to then take that thing, even whether or not it is the best, be the next best thing after fried rice, you have to market it as that, right? And then in the process of doing that, usually a lot of things get mixed up in the middle, from, let's say, disconnection from the person who built it to the person who is selling it, or maybe lack of proper understanding of the entirety of that product that has been built. To the best of my understanding, I would say product marketing really is I'd say a connection between both worlds, a connection from people who are building to the people who are actually selling. Now, let's take it down to the very practical sense, because I currently work in a startup, right? So I can give a more practical sense of what it looks like. So as a product marketer, there are 4 teams that I collaborate with, right, very closely. The first is the product team. When I say product, I mean everybody who is building, everybody who is involved in it, from the designers to the developers to the product managers to everybody involved in that process, right? I also work closely with the sales team. These are people who go out there to, directly sell the product, not no interesting strategy. They are just, I would say, foot soldiers who go out there and just almost drive direct sales. Now, the third group of, or the third team that a product marketer works closely with is the customer success team. Now, these are the people who are responsible for sort of making sure that churn does not happen, right? So after the sale is closed, the process is that a salesperson would then hand that customer over to the customer success team, who would then sort of onboard the customer and ensure that the lifetime value is extended as much as it can be, so that there's room for upselling, cross-selling, essentially just to get as much money as you can from the customer. That's the goal, right? For the customer success team. Then the last team would be the marketing team, right? Now, think of it this way. I'm not saying digital marketing team, I'm saying marketing team, because the need can really differ based off of what they're trying to achieve at that point in time, right? Now, as a product marketer, you are involved, the roles that we play across these different teams differ. For product team, a lot of it is research, a lot of it is support work, and maybe just really understanding what exactly we're working on right now, so that at the point where, let's say, the product is done, you are capable enough to communicate the work that has been done both internally and externally. So internally meaning all the members of your team that are responsible for that process, making sure that the sales team understand what exactly they are selling, making sure that the customer success team understand the pain points of this customer, and they know really that they have enough information or knowledge to know how to go about certain things, right? And what's the last thing? The marketing team, right? Also influencing what campaigns are being run, based again, because you have a little bit more insight. And I think another thing I'd like to add is that an average product marketing manager is usually always involved in top level conversations, things regarding pricing, things regarding even when you're trying to pivot, like where should we go towards? And that is not really like, it doesn't really mean you're the smartest in the room. It's just because by virtue of being in a lot of conversations, you just know more than say somebody who is just focused on building or somebody who is focused on selling, right? You know, you can almost, as in, you have information, certain things like investor relations, you know, when you have more money to run campaigns, you know, and all of those things can influence, you don't know directly, but you see that just by virtue of all of those, like access to people, top level people, you can drive top level decisions, right? But again, just to round it up, because we've said a lot today, I'm not trying to keep us here for long, but just to round it up, one thing I would like us to also take out from this is the concept of product marketing. For myself, I believe is the fact that it's a never-ending process, right? The concept of a product is a building. Just think of it like a building that will constantly be undergoing innovation, right? So what that means is that what you need to do today will be different from what you need to do tomorrow, because you will be going through different stages, right? So a product can go through different stages, from development to, okay, you're ready to take it to market, to growth, to decline. All of these things happen, right? And what that means is that you need to sort of need to adjust to the times and know that irrespective of the weather or what's happening in the country, even now that, let's say, there's no cash, right? A lot of troubles. We have trouble in Nigeria right now, but amidst all of that trouble, how can my product still remain top of mind in the minds of my customer? And I mean, difference in.
Hi, Victoria. We can't hear you. Or is this my network? Can anyone please confirm if you can hear me? Okay, so.
Yeah, sure.
Yes,
All
we
right,
can
so
hear you.
Victoria, we lost you for a bit. Okay, so while I guess that should be network. While Victoria is trying to, I don't know, work on, get back on a network. But just quickly going to, you know, for those of you that are just joining, if you have not, you know, filled the feedback form before now, it's in the chat session. So you can just quickly fill it up, and then we'll be reaching out to you. So now we're going to we'll be going back to Victoria. Okay. Victoria waved. I guess that was your network. We lost you for a bit. Like what Victoria was saying about the top level, you know, people that you would be, you know, in meetings with and having conversations. That's the part that I'm actually really interested in, because, you know, like we want to all the Temi Talkers, sorry I put it that way, but both speakers have spoken about, you know, networking and all of that. I mean, obviously it means that if you're getting into product marketing, you're networking with like the top level people. Not necessarily, that's just me joking, but yeah, we'll be going to like the real tech bro in this. We'll be going to the real tech bro in this meeting, because I mean, since he joined, he has just been like on his system. He's like probably coding or something. So we'll be talking to Victor right now about, because really, like, I know that you are here in this meeting, but at the same time, I know that you're not here. You're like busy with like everything that you're doing. So we don't even want to waste too much of your time. And then we're going to go to like we're going to go to Mufeoluwa, because she's another person that she seems like she's really busy, like you know, making this money, all of this money. Like, that's why we're here. You guys need to show us the way to make this money. You understand? So we'll just be talking about we'll just be talking to Victor first about, you know, how. And guys, if you have questions, the link to the feedback form will be put in the chat session right now. If you have questions, you can start typing it in the chat sessions, and the speakers will be taking it, you know, one after the other. So Victor is going to be telling us, because I find that a lot of technical writers are, you know, software developers, or, you know, back end, front end, and everything. Like, why is this so important? Because as much as, yes, I know that I have asked previous speakers about if it's really important to, you know about code, or be someone who codes before you can be a technical writer. And some people have said, well, you might have the knowledge of coding, but it's not really like necessary. But I really want to know, why is it important to, you know, have that software development knowledge, you know, before you can be a technical writer? Or is it important for you to have that software development knowledge before you can be a technical writer? Or is it something you can pick up along the way? Because I feel like technical writing is not just about, trying to simplify what developers are doing. It involves like other fields. Technical writing is not really just about the tech. We can have technical writers who are focused on like the medical field, who are focused on like different industries and everything. But these people that are actually making it, these technical writers that are actually making it, they make it seem like the money is in that, software development. And so Victor is going to tell us right now briefly about, is it important to be a software developer? Is it important to have that knowledge before being a technical writer, or it's something that you can pick up along the way, or it's not important, or, you have the floor, Victor.
Good morning. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can. Good morning.
Let me just give like a brief overview of my background. So, like I'm a front-end developer. Like I transitioned from front-end development. I worked with a Nigerian startup for like a year, and while I was working for them, I was in charge of their blog. So I was writing articles on their blog for them. Like when we release the future, I'll be like, this is the latest update we have made. And from there, I found out that I actually like this technical writing, like being able to, because technical is all about teaching. So being able to like transfer knowledge that you know to someone else, and like taking that person from not knowing what you know to knowing what you know. I mean, they even excelling in it. So I found out that I liked that. And to answer your question about whether you should know how to code, I would say it depends. Like you say, technical writing is not related to software development only. There's technical writing in the medical line, and like people that do broadcasting, like panel stations and the rest. But when it comes to software development, you're essentially it's just like you're a teacher and you're trying to teach maths, but you don't know maths. You get? So you're essentially teaching, like you're speaking, your target audience or the people you're speaking with are developers. So in a way, you need to know how to speak their language. If let me say that we need to like understand the thought process of how developers work, how they read things, how they consume content online. Yeah, so you can pick it up. You must not be an engineer before you can be a technical writer, but you can pick it up along the way. So I'll be sharing how you can, because I've seen in my line of work, I've seen a lot of people transition from, people that studied English in school, transition into technical writing, people that from other fields, biochemistry and the rest. So it's very easy to, not easy, but you can, I mean, if people can do it, I mean, you can do it too. So to get into technical writing, I would say, like if you're coming from a different background, like you don't have a tech background, you are not a developer, you know nothing about tech, and you want to get into technical writing, the first thing you have to do is to like follow the journey of people you like in your field, in that field in technical writing. People like you can just go to social media like Twitter or LinkedIn and just like see how these people move from differ from their roles into the current role they are in right now. Like there are many people I could recommend, like Amruta, like Linda Ikechukwu on Twitter and the rest. So just follow these people's journey. Looking at their journey, you still you can like see, okay, this is what they did here, this how they got to where they are faster. And in technical writing, it's all about speaking to developers, communicating in if there's a degree for it, that it's called technical communications. If you want to study in university, it's all about communicating to people. So the second skill you need to pick up is you actually need to know how to write. Like you need to know how to write. It's because that's your job. It's not like you want to be a developer, you don't know how to code. You need to like know how to write. You need to know where to put punctuations and how to shorten your sentences. So it's actually easy to pick up how to write. I mean, everybody who doesn't know how to write. So I try and find the resource. You can use Google have a course on writing, on specifically in technical writing. See whether I can find it. So you can use Google's course, like just go to it, because at the end of the day, it's written content you be producing mostly as a technical writer. So that's the number one skill I would say is more important. Like partially having a coding background, that's a plus, but like you need to know how to communicate well in a written form because that's your job as a technical writer. So and when you're coming in with like no experience, you need to be willing to learn. Like a lot of speakers have said it before. I came into technical writing like I was a developer, so like I didn't really take writing seriously. But you need to like be willing to learn and unlearn. You need to say, okay, I need to learn how to shorten my sentences. I need to learn how to shorten my paragraphs. I need to um learn this writing because like some companies, like I freelance for a lot of companies right now, and some companies have different writing styles, how they want you to write for them. They don't just want you to follow the format you have written for previous companies. So you need to be willing to learn, go online, consume resources on, on technical writing, like in every other field in tech. I'll try and link some.
All right, Victor. Thank you so much for all of that. Like, I really understand. Like, when people get into our technical writing course, I try to tell them, like, if you obviously you need to have the technical writing, you need to know how to communicate, and you need to know how to write, right? And learning how to write, you need to start writing. Like I tell people, the way to learn how to write is to start writing. That's just like really just start writing. So I try to advise people to try to document stuff. You could start by, trying to document your day and just writing it in a way that another person, will read that. You understand? So, the first way to, the best way to learn how to write is to start writing, because there's no
And
other way.
just to add one more thing, you need to put yourself out there as a technical writer. You get to like when you're starting out, like me doing when I was starting out, if I learned a process, I would document like I had this hash note blog. Putting yourself out there because in the current state of tech world right now, opportunity doesn't always come to the most prepared or to the most qualified. They come to the most visually qualified, the most visibly qualified. So you need to always go on Twitter, post your hash note, your blogs. Okay, share it to communities and all that, and join a community. Join like-minded people, both beginners and experienced, and learn from their experiences. Like it will really help you in, going further in the career path. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say.
Thank you so much. So guys, every one of you that is interested in technical writing, don't forget we offer this same course at More Techies. Once you get into the technical writing program, you would be learning a lot about how to get started in your technical writing career. And like Victor has already said, you don't necessarily have to. It's a good add-on to know how to code or to understand programming languages, but do not fix your mindset on it. Do not have a fixed mindset. Instead, have a growth mindset so that you know that you would be able to go around the block and be able to serve as a technical writer in different industries. So right now we'll be going to Lua. So I feel like business analysis or business analysts, they are like big people, because when you hear the job role first, you are thinking obviously this person is doing like a serious thing, like a big thing, and they are always like top level executives. Like this is not a lie, they're always like top level executives in companies, right? I know this one for a fact. Like business analysts, they are not, you hardly find like an entry level business analyst role. It's always like professional, or I've forgotten what it's called, but it's usually like from mid-level and then expert, and then there's like no newbies. So Lua is going to be telling us about what business analysts do, number one, and then the difference between business analysis and data analysis. But because it kind of seems like both job roles are similar, or they can function as almost the same thing. But sometimes I'm always like, because when I think about data analysis, I think about Excel, I think about maths, I think about statistics, and I try to put it side by side with what a business analyst would be doing. And sometimes I really cannot like put it together. It seems like a lot. So you're just going to be like breaking it down for us, and also tell us how we can get to that point, how we can start making the money that you are making because we all want to make this money like this year, right? All right. So thank you for
Okay.
coming on.
Thank you so much for having me. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
So, to answer your question, a business analyst, simply put, what you're doing is you're enabling change, you're solving problems, you're improving business processes, you're analyzing, okay, what problems does this business have? How can we solve it? How can we recommend solutions? What strategies can we put together to solve business problems and improve revenue? So it entails you doing a lot of thinking. You have to do some deep dive, do some research. Okay, as a financial institution, okay, what problems is this company facing? What strategies can we put together to make sure that we, eradicate these problems and position the company better to make more revenue? So, with my background, I studied sociology, and from school, I got into a customer experience role, did a little bit of sales as well. But at some point, I started thinking, I'm like, okay, so what next? What more? What am I good at? And I'm an overthinker by nature. I overthink for maybe as a side hustle. So I'm always thinking, okay, this business, how can we improve? Okay, there's this problem. How can we solve it? So I started with taking a data analysis course. I'm sorry, a data analysis and business intelligence course. So I took the course. After the course, I did a lot of practice. I built my portfolio. I did a lot of projects. And I always did well to publish it, share it with people. What do you think? This is what I did. This is the company I did this project on. Share with me, what do you think? And I got a lot of feedback. And I was able to, let's say, score myself and say, okay, maybe you're good at this thing. What else can you do from it? So from doing those business intelligence projects and studying all the data and breaking them down, doing my visualization, doing my storytelling, I also took a business analysis course. Now, the difference is, as a data analyst, you're working with data, you're cleaning data, you're visualizing it, you're presenting it to stakeholders that, okay, this data, this is what we're able to get from it. This is what this data shows us. But as a business analyst, yes, you will work with data. Yes, you would have to do some data visualization, but you're also going to be looking at this business. Okay, as a financial institution, our customers are always complaining that they're having issues doing this, or our vendors are always complaining that they are not able to get quick response from us. These problems, as a business analyst, you're to look at, okay, why do we have this problem? How can we solve the problem? And then you mobilize people concerned to make sure that, okay, you get a solution to this problem. So when your clients are complaining, they're not complaining about the same things all over again. You're solving problems, getting to the next stage. Okay, how can we automate this process? How can we digitize this process? How can we make it faster so people can solve their problems with us easier? So that's what a business analyst basically does.
All right, thank you so much. I think this is like the most simplified, definition of what a business analyst is. Like, I'm not even joking. Seriously, like, this is the best definition, or this is the best description of what a business analyst is. And it's really like easy. It seems not necessarily easy, because really no job role or no job role is easy, right? But it seems really, really simplified. Thank you so much for that, Mofelua. So we're going to circle back to you, but before then, you guys, if you're just joining in, welcome to the More Techies No Code Tech webinar. You're learning how to transition from a non-tech background into a tech background. And in this session, we've had speakers who are product designers, who are technical writers, product marketers, business analysts, digital marketers, and product managers also. And these speakers have told us how to, get into tech or get into these various skills, right? Or acquire these various skills. They've told us the tools that we need to, get these skills. They've told us how to go about it. They told us about networking. They've told us about, building in public. They've told us, they've basically given us tips on how to transition from whatever background that you have and how to, move from that newbie stage to like someone who is a tech professional. So obviously, More Techies is here to help you do that also, because we offer courses in product marketing, social media management, business analysis, technical writing, product design, and product management. And with these courses, you can, leave that newbie stage that you're in, and you can begin to put yourself out there as a tech professional. You get your certification after the duration of your program, and then, we get to help you till you land your first role. So we're helping you with building your portfolio. We're actually having a session with, a couple of people in our Plus community, which is our alumni community, people who have gone through our academy. We're going to be meeting with them to talk about how to build their portfolios as product managers, as technical writers, as product designers. And then, we also help you prepare your CV. We review your CV for you. We help you while you're applying for jobs, you understand? And then, like I said, till you get to your first role. We also help you if it's a skill, if any of these skills you have learned them before and, you're trying to gain experience. We have an internship program where you get into building a product that goes live at the end of 6 months. So if you can remember, Temitope talked about, having to start her product management journey on a live product. So you're basically going to be doing that in the Talent Accelerator program. We also have our More Tribe, which is our community. We also have our More Tribe, which is our community of like-minded people, like Victor was saying, and you can just interact with them. So guys, if you have any questions, you can start dropping them in the chat session. In the meantime, I'll be circling back to Victoria to talk about, like the money, because she has already told us that you are going to be interfacing with like top level people. So let's hear about it, because I feel like for product marketing, like it's kind of, there's this way it's in the shadows. Like I feel like they are making all the money, yeah, but we don't really know that they are making all the money. Yes, now yeah, interface. I mean, you can't be talking to top level people and you not be earning top level people money. Is that possible? Like Victoria, stop disguising, please. Tell us about this money.
Okay, so regarding the money, I have one thing I want to say first before I say what you really want to hear. The first thing I want to say is that I think in this 2023, let's try to remove that pressure of tech possibly being like that fast money scheme thing. I mean, not relating to what we're talking about here, but I'm just saying, especially for newbies, I think it can be very, very, very misleading. Okay, now, just want to confirm, Essie, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. We lost you for a bit, but we can hear you again.
Okay, my apologies. So I was going to say that a large majority of like earning potential really comes from sometimes even where exactly you are practicing, right? Glorified role might not be earning even more than you with a glorified role, if I'm going to put it that, right? And the difference might just be at the company where they are in at that point in time. So, and but in the startup world, I say a lot of it also depends on personal value. Let me put it at that also, because a lot of people are earning relatively more than others just by virtue of how they can communicate their value or even what is important to the company at that point in time. Now, for me, tech
Hi, Victoria.
definitely has made it as an initial and any capacity to a point, because I guess so it's definitely a high income role, I'll put it at that, but by virtue of it being that it also means that unfortunately you have to work your way up. So in certain companies like the bigger tech companies, you have what they call associate product marketing managers, right? So think of it as more like the entry level bit to maybe eventually owning it. And yeah, at the end of the day, like we can all agree, negotiation is a huge factor in this space, right? You see two people working in the same company doing almost the same role, and you'll be shocked at what the difference is, right? So at the end of the day, just know your value, know your potential, be willing to walk away. I think that's usually the greatest thing, because if you're willing to walk away, usually you'll be able to negotiate more. But of course, don't walk away from what is valuable, okay? Also apply wisdom and all of that. But yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Victoria. Thank you. So Victoria did not state actual figures. She just said, she just guessing under the fact that it's a high income role. So yes, I've heard you, Victoria. I've heard that it's a high income role. So guys, if you have any questions, just put it in the chat session. You know, the speakers are here for you if you have any questions. So we'll be going back to Temitope Juba, and we'll just be trying to find out what a typical day in the life of a digital marketing and communications lead is like. Temitope, are you here with us? Are you still here with us?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
All right. So yeah, so a typical day in the office, right? So I'm managing campaigns. So if we're just launching a campaign, I'm probably like writing marketing copies, making sure that we have content for all our platforms, and also managing the team, design team. So basically, it's marketing campaigns is one of the things that I majorly do on all the platforms. I'm managing campaigns, creating campaigns, and also monitoring them to ensure that they're performing well, and tweaking whatever should be tweaked to make sure that the performance is great, right? So yeah. So a typical day for me is literally making sure that all of our marketing activities are like intact on all platforms. I'm in charge of writing newsletters as well. So when you're working in a startup, you literally do so many things. You do so many, so people should be ready for that. It's not just working in startup. Tech companies, you will do everything. So yeah, so I'm also creating newsletters, writing newsletters, and all of that. So basically, honestly, I do a lot of things. And the great thing about working in tech companies is that you do things at your own pace sometimes. Sometimes pressure is a lot, but on some days you're just like chilling and just working. So yeah, thank you.
All right, that's amazing. You have. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So guys, we're still expecting your questions in the chat session. I will just be talking to Michael about if there are any, what challenges you get to face as a product designer just going into the space, so that people know what to look out for, so that okay, once they're getting it, they'll be like, oh, Michael said this, and oh, this is what he said we could do about how to overcome such challenge.
Okay, thank you. Just getting started as a product designer, the major challenge is having projects to like work on, to show on your portfolio that, okay, I've actually done this, I've done that. Because nowadays, I don't think there's any company that will just take you without saying what you've actually done before. So like you said earlier, what I would just advise people do is probably enroll to like more techies, where you give them an avenue to like work on live projects. And there are a couple of websites they could go to, like Democracy Lab, to just work on projects. Yeah. And another thing is they should just try and join communities, because through communities you can actually achieve a lot. Like, by a lot, I mean, on a single project, you can earn more than your salary. I've had cases where just by designing a landing page, I earn more than my 1 month salary. So just working on live projects will take you to places.
All right, so Michael is already giving us the expo. He's already giving us how he's earning more than his monthly salary. We can hear, we are
I
hearing
didn't
it.
mean it that
I
way. I
heard,
didn't mean it.
no, no, no. Why you trying to take it back? We can hear
I
it
didn't mean
too. Yes, I know you didn't mean it that way, but obviously I got the codes that you didn't want us
it.
to understand.
Yeah,
I understood it.
like people have this mindset that once you're into tech, you earn so much. But then if you're not bringing value, nobody will pay you.
That's so true. That is so true. Yeah. Thank you so much, Michael. Thank you so much. So someone asked, Farouk asked, how does data analytics help in managing a product as a product manager? So Temitope Odiahi, sorry. That's your question. So how does data analytics help in managing a product as a product manager? Temitope, are you still here with us?
Yes, I am.
All right.
Okay. So how does it help?
Yeah.
Well, so there are different types of product managers. Some people say there are different types. There are growth product managers, there are data product managers. So in terms of data analysis, it comes in when you are doing your user research, your competitive analysis, and also in your requirement gathering. You are bringing in figures, you need to bring in figures, especially for your stakeholders, the management in this case. You are telling them your customers are asking for this feature, or from your research, you need this feature to be implemented and you need them to sign up on a budget for it. You can't just go to them and say, oh, this is it. You need to have your figures straight. You need to have your data. So you are going to have to go back and you do your research. And in between all of that, you are getting data. And you can't just present data to them just like that. Imagine working on a data set of about 1,000 or 2,000, or in some cases, tens of thousands, and you're just going to present it to them. Trust me, they're going to chase you out of that place. So you need to understand. You don't necessarily need to know the SQL, Python, and R of data analysis, except it's a data product manager role. But you need to understand how to use Excel properly. That's like the basic.
All right. Thank you so much, Tim Tokwe. I think, Farouk, your question has been answered now. So I'm actually just realizing, this is the first time I'm hearing that there are like two types of product managers. I thought.
Oh no, there are not two types. There are more than two types.
Oh,
we have
wow.
growth product managers. Those are the ones that you are coming in to grow the whatever metrics you are using, most likely user adoption or acquisition or retention from a certain point to a certain point. A data product manager, this is for companies that typically deal with AI generally. Then we have generalists that can work in anyone. We have continuity too. That's for those that make a live product and you're not building any new products. So I would advise you just start out as being, we have technical product managers. So technical product managers, some people say they are the ones that switch from a more technical role to product management. But I can tell you for a fact that as long as you are interested and you are willing to learn, there's nobody that can be a technical product manager.
All right, that's amazing. I'm learning so much from this session. I hope you guys are, all of our participants, everybody that joined into this session, I hope you guys are learning so much from this session. And if you've not already filled our feedback form, please fill it. Someone will be dropping it right now in the comment section. If you've not already filled our feedback form, please fill it, because we'll be, reaching out to you, especially if you want to get started in your tech journey immediately. Especially if you're interested in getting started in your tech journey immediately. So I am sure that you are learning a lot. And I am sure that you can't wait to get started, on your tech journey. So I'll be going to Mofeoluwa right now, I would like to know, and I'm sure others who are here would like to know, what kind of projects you can build as a, someone who is just learning business analysis, because I think you talked about building your portfolio, right? So how did you go about building your portfolio? What projects, because when I think about projects, what I think about is maybe UI, UX, they design something, product managers, they tell us something about products. So what exactly, when it comes to building a project as a business analyst, what does it entail?
Okay. When it comes to building your portfolio as a business analyst, I would give an example of what I did. So I took a data set. In this data set, it had top selling products of this company, the zones that it sold, the relationship managers. It gave me a date, a time, a period. So with that data set, I looked at, okay, what was their, let's say the time that they made the most sales, or at the high times, the low times. Okay, what product sold the most? Okay, why did that product sell in that particular zone more than other zones? Okay, why was business so low in this time of the year? What happened? So when you analyze all of that, you can do it on Excel or Power BI, anyone you choose to do. When you do that data visualization, now you have to go into the storytelling. Okay, in that period, maybe in April of that year, there was political unrest and most of the stores were closed down for that period. That's why they didn't sell that much that year, that month. You can say, okay, oh, they sold well this time of the year because maybe there was a government policy that, helped that product to sell better, or there was a government policy that positioned the company to sell better. So things like this are what you would put in your project or in your portfolio. You would study trends, study times, study a lot of things. It can also be a customer analysis project. Because when I was working in customer service, customer experience, I was playing around. Then I just learned data analysis. I said, okay, sorry, let me see where my data analysis can, interface with this customer experience. So I took a data set of, okay, our customers, most of them, when they call in, they buy the product or they buy our services. While some midway, they drop off, or for some reason, they don't buy or they don't patronize us. Okay, why is that happening? Is it that our turnaround time is, high? Is it that they're not getting the kind of service they want? Is it something we're doing? Is it something we can solve so that we can maximize these customers and get them to where they can buy our products? So these are the kind of projects you put in your portfolio. It positions you to actually know how a business runs, how you can change the processes in that business, how you can help that business to get more revenue, make more profit. So you have to look at a lot of sides. It can be from you analyze the customer behavior. It can be from, okay, this is our sales record for the year. We made more money in 2021 than we did in 2020. Why did that happen? You get to the nitty-gritty. Why you study the data, then you give out your recommendations, give out your strategies, and then that is how you can build your portfolio and build projects.
All right, thank you so much. I think that's really, really, I from everything that you have said so far, from everything that you have told us, you really know how to break down, stuff into simpler, basically what a technical writer does, but you really know how to explain it in a way that we understand. And that's really amazing. Thank you so much, Mofeoluwa. Guys, we're nearing the end of today's session. So if you've not already filled your feedback form, please fill it, because I know that you guys want to get into tech. I know that you're trying to transition and everything, so we want to help you. We want to hold your hand while you're doing that transitioning into tech. So please fill the feedback form so that we can reach out to you to get you into the academy, or if you already have the skills beforehand, then we'll get you into the talent accelerator program. So please fill the feedback form. So my last question will go to Victor. And, Victor will just be telling us briefly about building in public. So for someone who has, gone through the More Techies Academy, who has learned technical writing, or who, has gone through the Talent Accelerator program at More Techies and, wants to build in public. Because I know I've had speakers, there was a space we held a couple of weeks back. So you guys, if you're not already following More Techies, please follow us on Twitter, on Instagram, on LinkedIn. It's the same name, More Techies, everywhere. We hold spaces on Twitter, on Fridays and on Tuesdays. We just, talk about different careers, different fields in tech. And I know that one of our speakers in the last session that we held was, talking about building in public also. And, it's a really amazing way to catapult yourself from, where you are to where you really want to be. So Victor will just be telling us briefly about, if you've gone through once you go through the More Techies Academy, how to build in public in a way that sets you apart from, every other technical writer out there. So Victor, you have the floor.
Okay, so I would say, just put yourself out there. Like I said, once you learn an idea, maybe you're learning through the non-package program. Let's say you're in the fourth end track and you learned React that day. You could just write a blog post on your learning, on like how you learned it, what you think about React, and just keep on sharing it. Another thing that I've seen most people do, which I also did myself, was contribute to open source. When recruiters, like when you're applying for a job, most of those forms ask you to put in your GitHub profile, you get. And on GitHub profile, there is this block of your contributions you have made throughout the year. So when recruiters can go there, and if you're applying for a technical writing role, and they click on each of those blocks and see, okay, he opened a pull request to MDN documentation, he opened a pull request to this other documentation, they'll have the idea that this person knows what they are doing, not only know what they are doing, they are willing to, they already have the skills we are looking for. So writing blog posts, just keep writing. It must not be so perfect. It must not be like top-notch publication. Just keep writing. Contribute to open source as much as you can. Reach out to open source organizations. Ask them if they are looking for any contributions. That's pretty much it. Just these two are the main in regards to technical writing.
All right, thank you so much, Victor. So guys, you have heard all that our speakers have said. When you want to transition into tech, while trying to transition into tech, like Victoria said, do not focus on the money. Do not let that be yes, it's valid if you're getting into tech for, because there's big bucks in it, but do not let that be your focus, especially when you're trying to get in. That's number one. And then, Temitope, he talked about how you need to be learning, you need to be someone who learns a lot, who is curious, who is learning, and you can do what she did, or rather she advised that you focus on one thing and then you move on to the next thing. So you can, while you're trying to transition into tech, into whatever tech skill or tech role that you want to get into, you first of all you learn about it, because like Michael said, nobody is going to give you any money. That money that we're all clamoring for, nobody is going to give you that money if you don't have the value that they want, right? So first you need to acquire the knowledge, and you can do that by getting into the More Techies Academy, where, like I said, we offer the following programs: business analysis, we offer technical writing, we offer product marketing, product design, product management, social media management, and have I mentioned business analysis? So business analysis again. So you can get into the academy, and then you get into, also, if you already have the skills before now, you can put yourself, get the life experience, the experience that all employers are looking for. You get it in the Talent Accelerator program. The Talent Accelerator program is a 6 months program where you get to build a product that goes live at the end of that 6 months. So if that is the area, if you already have knowledge on a particular tech skill and you're just looking for the experience, get into the Talent Accelerator program today. Get into the Talent Accelerator program today. And like I said, we have the community, the More Tribe community, where you get to interact with fellow like-minded people. You would meet people like you who are newbies, who are just finding their way in tech. You meet people who have already, set the tone for us, who have been in tech for a while now, and just some of them are even looking to mentor people, you understand? So you get to interact with them. Also, if you've not filled our feedback form, please fill it. And I would just really want to appreciate all of our speakers. Thank you, Mufeloluwa, for joining in. Thank you, Victor. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Victoria. I mean, you guys made out time to be with us today. Okay, so Michael, oh wow, this is amazing. This is amazing. So Michael said he'll be willing to pay 50% of the fee for one of the audience that is willing to enroll in product design. I mean, guys, like you, Michael, thank you so much. Thank you so much for this. Like, we really do appreciate this. I will be in contact with you and we'll discuss this further. So guys, if you're interested in, taking this scholarship that Michael has offered, fill the feedback form. Please fill the feedback form so that we know that you are interested, and we can start to process this whole the whole thing and your journey into tech. So thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for joining in. Thank you, Temitope Juba. Thank you, Temitope Odiahi. Thank you so much, guys, for joining in. I mean, this has been an amazing session today, and I love that the feedback form has just been put in the chat session again. So you guys, please fill it up. Thank you so much, everyone. I love that we are no longer just focusing on the money in tech. We're now focusing on the value. So guys, if you want to learn how to create value, join the More Techies Academy, join the More Techies Talent Accelerator program, join the More Tribe. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Michael. We really do appreciate this. Thank you so much. So guys, we've come to the end of today's session. Once again, I want to thank our speakers for joining in, and I want to thank our participants for joining in also. Have a lovely weekend, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining in.